Well, hi there. I'm Cindy with Impressing Ideas, and today I'm going to show you how to create a wiper card. I recently was asked would I ever offer the card class that we did in February, which is this one. Would we ever do that in the future? And I thought, well, there's no time like the present. So, for those of you who don't know what a wiper card is, this is what we created in February. This is a 5x7 card, nice and heavy. It stands up. Whoops, excuse me. It stands up when the recipient receives it. It goes in the envelope and mails flat with no extra postage. And today, since many of you have already taken the class, I thought I would show another rendition. In fact, I have a few here, so let's show you what I've done. We just received the new Blue Fern Studios collection called Jane's Memoirs, and it is absolutely beautiful. So this gave me an opportunity to do something with them. Side note, we'll do a separate video showing you just how stunning these papers are. So in this case, it's still a 5x7 card, but the front is shallower. It's not the full 5. So in this case, I've added lace, I've added Studio Katia pearls, I've added a die cut element in the corners from the Graphic 45 square tag die with a clock. And in this case, it's a double wiper. So Blue Fern Studios collection has ephemera, so that's what I've used here. I've also used some Star Dreams paper in the color Lunar, and I've die cut out the word hugs from Gina K Designs. So that's this one. From the same collection, different pattern, is a card where I took a deeper front panel and kind of cut along the flowers and gradiated down to say 2.5 inches. I didn't add lace because this paper has lace in it, but I did add some pearls from Studio Katia, those same die cut elements from Graphic 45, and again made it a wiper card. But this time, not only are we giving a bouquet of flowers, but we're offering a gift card. What a fun idea is that? So, finally, another Blue Fern Studios. This was from the Radiance collection. And that collection, I think this is called Luminescent, or please forgive me, I can't remember which one, but it's from the Radiance collection. This one I made a birthday card because we all need birthday cards on hand. From the newer Graphic 45 dies, the one that has this really fun file folder. It has several hearts and flourishes and common sentiments in it. This is a great set. So I used a bunch of the hearts in there. Also added the pearls and a single wiper with one of the Stamping Bella's images. This rubber stamp set is called Mail Chick, and I love it. So today we are going to use a combination of Stamping Bella's Mail Chick with sending you lots of love. We're going to use the Graphic 45 folder and sentiment die like I described already. We're going to use a little bit of alcohol ink markers, some Studio Katia pearls, and our embellishment wand. We're going to use alcohol marker friendly ink pad, and we're going to use another Blue Fern Studios paper. So let's get started. First thing we're going to need is our scoreboard. I've already cut our paper so that you didn't have to see me drag out my paper cutter, but I made one paper 5 by 10. That's that back panel. And the front panel can vary anywhere between 5 and smaller in this case. So I thought it would be fun to take the remainder of this paper and cut it so that we cut around this rose. So I have this, looks like a 3. I've cut down to 3 on both sides of the rose. And then I'm gonna go ahead and take some scissors and let's cut around this flower. I just want to show you all the different variances. You could use a really pretty border die. Maybe you could use a cloud die. You could get out your Lawn Fawn cloud or wavy hills or grassy wavy dies. You know, there's so many. You could. So what I'm trying to say is you could fussy cut. You could die cut out this bottom panel. Okay. So let's set this aside for something else. So now we have our 2 panels. Okay, for both of them, I'm going to turn this one upside down just so I have a straight edge. I am going to, and let's see here. I take my scoring tool. I'm going to score at 1.5 and 3. Okay. And I do the same thing over here. 1.5 and 3. Okay. So now we have 2 pieces of. Oh, so sorry for that noise. On these score lines, we're going to go ahead and fold and burnish. On the shallower one, the first score is going to be folded into a valley. The second one into a mountain. And the net result, when you look at it like this, it looks like a Z. Okay, set that aside for a minute. On this one, we're going to take the first score, or I guess that's the second one, I'm depending on which angle you're coming from. We're going to make it a valley and the end one a mountain. Burnish those. I'm going to turn this over and burnish this edge. All right, and again, if I hold this up, looks like a Z. Can you see that? All right, let's bring these 2 together. See how when you hold them up, because we've scored each of them the same and they're the same length, they're gonna line up beautifully. So the next thing we wanna do, I'm gonna use some liquid glue for this. I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to put adhesive only on this first 1.5 inch section. Okay, I'm using liquid glue because we want these edges to line up perfectly along the side and along the bottom. Liquid glue gives us that wiggle room. I'm gonna hold that in place for a moment, kind of burnish that with my hand, burnish it with my bone folder, give that a moment. Okay, now on this end, I'm going to turn it so that I can see it better. I'm going to put my finger here just to give me a guide. I'm going to use my same liquid glue, and I'm going to, again with my fingers as a guide, that tells me I don't want to go past there with my glue. But I do want to put a good amount of glue in that remaining 1.5 inch deep section. I'm going to go ahead and put my pin back in my glue bottle. Make sure this is completely closed. See how nicely that lines up? And I'm gonna burnish that in place. Making sure I don't have glue any other place. So burnish, burnish, burnish with our hands. Okay, and now you can see that Z, short Z, tall Z. There you go. All right, that's the first part all done. Set that aside. Next, we need to get out 2 pieces of our 2x3. Those are going to be the wipers. So, I take one of the 2x3s. I'm going to grab a pencil, which I just saw. Oh, I put my card on it. I want to make just a slight pencil mark at 1 inch. See how you have measurements going across your scoreboard? You also have measurements going down the side. So I want a 1 inch across the top, and I want a 1 inch going down the side. Just a tiny little pencil mark, okay? Now I'm gonna take my second one, set this aside for a minute, and I'm gonna do a pencil mark at the 1 inch, then I'm gonna rotate this one, what is that? Counterclockwise, so that now it's 3 inches wide, and I'm gonna do another tick mark at the 1. Why did I do it differently? Because I am now gonna take, this will make sense in 1 minute. Where did my little tool go? Do you girls do this? You're sitting in the same spot and you hide things from yourself. Okay, so those pencil marks are gonna come in very handy for us now. We're gonna take, I have taken a permanent marker and gone every inch just so that it helps my eye see those lines better. So what I've done is I've taken my pencil mark and I've lined it up so that both of them are in the same 2 inch mark. You can pick any one of those marks. The objective is to create a score going across the same measurement so that you form a triangle, a 1 inch triangle. Okay? This one is going to go in that direction. We're going to do that same thing here, line those up, and score. Okay, so here's the big difference. One is going to go, actually, I just did that backwards. Let me get a different one. Okay. There we go. These will work. What we want are 2 triangles. One is going to go this way, one is going to go this way. Let me move the scoreboard because I bet you can see it better on the black. All right. So to recap, one is a triangle in the upper right corner. One is a scored triangle in the upper left corner if they're standing side by side, okay? That's important. All right, for both of these, we're going to bend it away from us and then go ahead and bend it toward us. What we're doing is we're breaking the fibers so that we can manipulate this paper. We started that process by scoring it. Now we're finishing it. Okay, so both of those have now been scored and burnished in both directions. Now they're nice and pliable. Okay? So I'm going to take some Scor-Tape. For this one, the one that is going to be in the upper right corner, we're going to turn it counterclockwise so that triangle is now on the top. And I'm going to put adhesive, Scor-Tape rather, here. I feel like I'm doing this the hard way. Can't have any adhesive exposed, but I do want a really nice strong adhesive on this tiny little corner because it's the only thing that will adhere to the card. Okay, so if you look closely, there's no adhesive exposed on the outside. I am going to get rid of this. Good thing for Teflon scissors. Okay. I do love my scissors, so I am going to get rid of that. Sticky, I mean. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to burnish that really well. When you burnish your tape, you get rid of all the air bubbles, and it makes it really easy to remove the protective liner. Okay. Now I'm going to bend this triangle back so the sticky is on the top, but I'm going to bend that corner back. Now the sticky is behind us. I'm going to come underneath here. I'll let you see here. Oops, can you see that? I'm near the top edge, just below the top edge. I'm completely lined up on this edge. I'm going to bend that triangle back. I'm going to take this out for a second. See this? I'm lining up this edge with this bend right underneath. Okay, making sure it's straight. Okay, it is. Now I'm going to close the card. Burnish it in place. Liquid glue is really good for this too, but I don't want to have to wait for it to be done. This is instant. See that? Of course, it's the same color, so you probably can't see that very well. Let me come up closer. There it is. Okay? Now, this side's going to be a little bit different. So to recap, this bend is where we attach this with the triangle bent back. This time, we're going to come over here. We're going to turn it so that we are facing clockwise. And I'm going to take some tape. Line it up on that triangle. Again, you could use liquid glue, but I don't like how it's not ready to go when I am. So we're just going to fix that problem and use Scor-Tape, which rocks. Okay. All right, I'm going to burnish that really well. Get rid of all the air bubbles. Make sure it understands this is your new home. I see that I have a slight, ever so slight amount of adhesive. I don't want that, so I'm going to get rid of it. Okay. Remove the protective liner. Okay, this time I'm going to lay it down completely on the bottom, but lined up underneath here, under our front panel. But I have the sticky side, that triangle is right here. Let's slide that out. Sticky triangle. The tape is facing up. So sticky side is exposed face up. I'm lining up against this, and I'm lining it up so that it is aligned with the top of this. And then I'm going to close the card. I'm going to burnish that. Okay. You know what we're going to do? We're going to help it along. That sometimes in the beginning, they just need to understand what their role is. Okay, I'm burnishing that. I think this little flower is going to give me a trouble. So we're going to bend it back. Let's see if that helps us. There we go. We're learning together, guys. Okay, let's do this next. I'm going to use my corner rounder. Let's see if this will help us. I hadn't thought about that shape giving me a trouble. But now we can learn together. Oops. Okay, let's see if that helps us. And I also want to corner around these guys. So that's, I love this corner tromper. This is made by Crocodile. I can put 1, 2, 3 pieces of 110-pound cardstock in at one time and punch. No sweat. Didn't hurt my hand, didn't get stuck. Wonderful. Okay, I also want to stamp a message here, but I wonder if it's gonna show. You know what we're gonna do instead? Instead of stamping a message there, since I have so much going on there, we're gonna just make that a gift card. The other option would be, nope, we're gonna stamp this side instead. We are gonna do that. Okay. I also just had a question. Why do I want a MISTI? Well, let me show you. MISTI is an acronym for Most Incredible Stamp Tool Invented. And I have to agree. MISTI comes in 3 sizes. The mini, the regular, this is the regular, and the memory. Memory is 12 1/4 square. This one is 8 by 6, I think, 6 1/2. It comes with a mouse pad with some tearaway sheets, a separate tablet for you. It's there so that you can use your photopolymer stamps because those are thinner. They don't have the cushion. This combination acts as the cushion. When you are going to use rubber, or in this case cling, it already has foam and the thicker rubber with cling on the back, so Since this is thicker, we're going to remove this. This will be the perfect size for paper. So I'm going to put my cardstock in. My favorite is Nina Classic Crest Solar White 110-pound paper. So I'm going to put that in anywhere I want, but I have a default in my brain to just stick it in the very corner. That way I don't have to think. Then I'm going to put my stamp face down, and I'm going to close the door. In doing that, this stamp is now going to cling to the lid. I'm going to be using some alcohol markers today, and so I need to use an alcohol marker friendly ink pad. And what that means is once this ink dries and I go to color it in with an alcohol marker, this ink will not move, it will not bleed, it won't smear, it won't change colors. It is a glorious combination. So, perfect impression. But let's say if we didn't get a perfect impression. Here's what's so great about this tool. I can stamp this 95 times if I need that. You can just keep stamping until you get the perfect impression because nothing moves. This isn't moving, our paper's not moving. Boom. Another thing you could do is you could use your markers to color directly on the stamp in different colors. You could do one at a time. You could do your stamping and coloring, and then you can come back, put this back in and ink it again just to crisp up all those black lines. You can emboss it afterwards. There's so many things that you can do with the MISTI. I'm gonna grab my stamp chamois and I'm gonna just clean my stamp real quick. And that's it. I'm gonna put my pad back in here. Take this off. The other thing I want to do is put this in, and I am going to now stamp this message right here. This is a little awkward, but this is what we do when we change our minds midstream. So in this case, I'm now going to put my stamp there, right where I want it. I'm going to close the door carefully. Oh. Perhaps I should use the magnet that this came with. Okay. Close the door. Let's put ink on there. In fact, I'm not going to color that in, so I'm going to switch gears. This is VersaFine Clair, which is fantastic. Very crisp, black, quick drying pigment ink. Love, 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 love this ink. Let's make sure we're held in position and close the door. Walk our fingers over the details of that image. You notice I'm not standing up and leaning into this. I don't need to. Open the door. Perfect impression. So good. Okay. Let's be responsible crafters. And clean away our stamp, put it away. I don't think I said this image is from Stamping Bella. So, so cute. A great stamp to practice your coloring because it's just simple. Okay, what did I do with it? Okay, so let's do some coloring. This would be some simple coloring, nothing too involved. Just gonna grab 2 values of a couple different colors. So if you are new to alcohol coloring, I really like these markers. We carry Shinhan art in our store and we love them. We have them in all kinds of different size sets. My goal is to have the open stock display as soon as I can. Alcohol markers are wonderfully forgiving. They don't, they blend well. They don't show your lines so much. I mean, I could just go on and on. These are also more affordable than many. So these are refillable. The nibs are replaceable. I absolutely love them. I'm going to start with adding a little bit of shading under his little wings. So I'm just going to do a soft gray just underneath, because I'm imagining the light is coming down, and because his little wings are coming up over the envelope, it's casting a slight shadow. So this isn't terribly important, but it is fun to add. I'm going to add a little bit down here on the heart maybe. All right, let's call that good. That was CG3, which stands for Cool Gray 3. And now I'm going to use CG1. I should have grabbed CG2, but you know, I didn't. So now I'm just coming down just a smidge underneath what I previously colored. And maybe, since I didn't grab, looking for my colorless blender. Well, my goodness, where is it? Here it is. Let's grab that in lieu of that CG3. I'm sorry, CG2. My brain. I think it's done. Okay. All right, we're just gonna call that good. Just a slight amount. Let's add our colors for our heart. So let's add just a smidge of our darker color first. This is R10 called Deep Red. And let's come in with the lighter color. This is R14, also known as Vermilion. And of course, I just went right outside the lines, guys. Here's what's cool about going outside the lines if you have alcohol markers. Red is the scariest color, but using this colorless marker, also known as a blender, but you just push the ink back behind the line. So, no more evidence of outside the lines. It's gone. Okay, enough on that. Let's do a little bit of a darker yellow. This is Y34. It's just really a primary yellow. And I am gonna go along where I think the light is not getting there. It's not being able to land as nicely in these lower colors. So I'm gonna go along the bottom of his sweet little, I keep wanting to call it fingers, but I know these are his wings. Go around his nose there, maybe on the side. Any place, anytime two things come together, there's going to be a darker shadow cast. I probably really should have grabbed a third yellow, but nah. This is just a sweet little image. We're going to call this good. I am trying to start. I'm overlapping, starting on top of the darker color and pulling the lighter color in. Oops, my tongue. I am taking my lighter color, starting on top of where it was darker, and trying to pull some of the darker in. Okay. Forgive my tongue-tied business here. Okay, I'm gonna take a YR21, which is called terracotta, and I'm kind of putting a little darker, kind of like the rest of it. Ouch. Then a YR23, and finish his bill. Such a cute little bird. And we haven't even broke a sweat. Now, we didn't really have a chance to do much, but see, simple coloring. Simple coloring. Let's add a little bit more shadow right here. Maybe in the corners too. Anyways, good enough. Good enough. If we had more time, we could continue. But let's just call this good for the sake of today's card. I'm gonna cut this out. This image is so sweet and cute, it doesn't even need a die. Just straight lines. When you cut, you want to make sure that you turn your paper into your blade rather than trying to be all contorted with your scissors and done. Okay, so now let's take this. Let's see how nicely that fits. And will that get tied up? Let's see. I'm gonna just sort of do a dry run here. Oh, I didn't do those. I didn't round those corners. Let's round these corners. Oh my goodness. Let's see, is there an easier way to do this? Let's not rip our card. Perhaps we're not gonna round that corner. Okay, so here we go. Let's look for, I was gonna do a gift card. Okay, we don't want this image to exceed the top of our card, which means I need to put this down here, meaning I don't want it to be up here. So, how about right there? And when I close this, it will fold in. Yep. Okay. Getting out the glue, girls. Here we go. Did I get enough? I don't think I got enough down here. Okay, and while we let that glue dry, I had also cut out another rose so that we could layer this like that, giving that a little bit of dimension. I'm also going to use some clear 3D glue dots. I love making things dimensional, but I hate it when you can see the foam adhesive. So I'm going to bring my rose to the glue dot. I'm going to grab one more. Okay. And let's see. Let's put this here. And I think I have a leaf somewhere nearby. Yep, there's the leaf. Let's see. Do I want that there? Does it even need it? Okay, you don't really need it. Nah, we don't need it, so I'm gonna skip that. What else do we need? We need some jewels. So let me do a dot there, a dot there, a dot here to start with. I forgot to take my wand out. Okay, I'm going to use this to pick out some jewels. Bring that to that first glue dot. Oops. And this one, and a smaller one up there. Okay, I know I'm going to want some over here. Okay, let's see. I die cut out these happy birthday. This is so pretty. And then some of the hearts from Graphic 45. Where did we want those? This is always the hard part. How silly does that seem? Alright, let's see. Let's be ambidextrous. Alright, I also did some of these little flourishes, but I don't know that they're needed. Alright. So imagine getting your gift card from, say, your favorite stamp store, or the recipient's favorite restaurant, or whatever would bring them joy. Inserting that, you could temporarily fasten it with a paper clip or a temporary glue dot. Oops. All right, let's see what the fix is for this guy, because I know it's this flower. What if we do a slight bend, just manipulating it that way? Oh, there we go. It's the combination. All right. All right. Growl. This one is going to need a little bit of assistance. So, note to self, don't have your cutaway in the very center. That was a fail. You know what? Let's see if we can cut this. That doesn't even need to be seen. Neither does this. These are the things you do, right? Okay, let's see if that fixes it. Oh, saved. All right, guys, don't give up. And let's show this up closer. Oops, I got a little excited there. Cuteness. What do you think? Thanks for hanging in there with me. Thanks for learning what to not do, and then if you do it, what to do if you do it. Let me know what you think in the comments. All of the supplies we use are available. I hope you're all doing well, and we sure look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.